Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Kayakers Kitchen. It'd be really cool if I could do like a titles thing here, like if I go like, welcome back to Kayakers Kitchen, and the title appears or something. Anyway, this week I want to talk about beans. You know, I eat a lot of chickpeas, but really what I want to talk about is demystifying how to deal with these bags of dried beans instead of buying cans. And the reason I want to talk about this so much is because it's actually a huge money saver. And these are super intimidating, and for the longest time I would stand in the beans aisle like, looking at all the choices, trying to figure out the cheapest way to do it. And I would always look at all the dried beans and be like, oh, that's scary. I don't want to deal with that. Like, you can't eat it like dry. The can's easy, you just open the can and it's ready to go. And I think there's room in your house for both types, but you can save a lot of money if you start incorporating these into your schedule as well. And they do take a little bit of work. And so this week I want to talk about what you have to do to take this from dry to delicious and save yourself a ton of money along the way. So here we go, let's cut to the next frame. So we're gonna start off with a measuring cup and put about 1 cup of beans into that measuring cup. You can do a different amount of this if you want to, but this is just gonna be like a reference, or like a rough guide for how much you're gonna get out of 1 dried cup of beans. I've read a few different things about the amount that you can get out of it. Apparently it does differ depending on like how old your beans are. This is just what I've been experimenting with. Anyway, throw your beans in a big bowl to soak. We're gonna put about 3 times as much water onto the dried beans. So about 1 dried cup of beans is gonna be about 3 cups of water into the bowl. Pretty easy to remember. It's just 3 to 1. And once you've got it all in there, you don't need to do anything else. Just leave it. Just don't touch it, don't play with it, put it out of the way, leave it overnight. Just like that, suddenly they've got a lot bigger inside. Now you're gonna drain those suckers out. You know how to drain it. I'm not gonna babysit you. Grab a saucepan, put it on the stove, put your drained out chickpeas in there or whatever beans you're doing, and then get, again, approximately 3 times as much water and hammer it into the bowl. I don't know if you can use the same water without draining it, but I don't think you can. So just, you know, get fresh water, drain it out, do the work. Get it on a medium-high heat, and we're gonna simmer it for about an hour. Again, this varies like bean to bean, like black beans go a little bit less time, pinto beans a little bit less time, chickpeas seem to be a little bit more, varies bean to bean. Let it simmer for an hour. Simmer is like the small bubbles, and once the water's reduced, you're gonna test out some of the chickpeas. They're really slippery, so be careful they don't get away from you. And once they're kind of like nice and soft and tender, then they're done. This is a completely unnecessary step, but I just wanted to show you how much you get in terms of yield out of a cup of dried chickpeas. It gets you just a little bit more than double. All right, so that's the process of how to deal with these beans from going from dry to usable. It is a little bit more work, like I said, and you do have to think ahead a little bit more. I get that for not everyone's schedule, it's gonna be perfect, right? Like, but if you're doing a 9 to 5 job, it will be super practical to like throw some beans on overnight, come back from your 9 to 5, you know, cook them for an hour, and then make dinner. Or you could do them in a big batch. Like what I do pretty frequently now is I'll plan out what I'm gonna have for the week, and then I'll just do it all in one day. So I'll have them all in little pots soaking, and then just hit some big pots on the stove, boil it all down. So then I've got all my beans and they just sit in the fridge like ready to go. Let's talk about the money saving part of this though, because that's one of the main reasons I wanted to start trying to use these dried beans, because it's quite a lot more cost effective. So this is a 900 gram bag of chickpeas. It costs about $2 Canadian. This is 2 cans of chickpeas. It costs about $2 Canadian. All right, what I showed you in the little video there was a little bit more than 1 can, a little bit less than 2 cans, right? So let's just take a one can example, right? This amount of dried beans, 900 grams, can make up to 8, or the equivalent of 8 cans of chickpeas, all right? So that means you get a saving of $6
for every bag, right? Like if you eat 8 cans a week, and I easily eat 8 cans a week, like I'm gassy. So that means you're saving $6 every week. If you save $6 every week over the course of a year, you save 312 Canadian dollars. And then you've got to ask yourself, what would I do with it if I had an extra 300 bucks in my pocket? All right. And I get, well, to be honest, for me, I just like spend that $6 extra on like more fruit or more vegetables or more nuts or more spices or more stuff I like to eat. So for me, it's just like whatever, I just have more money to spend on other stuff and my diet is a bit more varied. But you know, like you don't have to put that money, you can reinvest that into like new kayaking gear or a plane ticket, you can go on a trip, like, you know, it's a pretty significant saving just from doing a little bit of extra work. And I get that you might have to restructure your day or week a little bit to accommodate it. But as I said, I think it's something that's really useful and worthwhile and super easy to do, and it's something that really put me off for the longest time. Like I did not want to deal with that. I was like, I don't want to go there, you know? But it's easy for you to do at home, and hopefully you'll give this a try and start saving some extra money, going kayaking a bit more often. There's also like an environmental benefit or whatever, right? Because like these are like way heavier and they get shipped the same amount of distance, but less of them can get shipped at a time. There's a whole thing, it's worth a Google. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I just wanted to talk about the financial benefits of it. Anyway, this has been Kayakers Kitchen, cooking made easy. I hope you will at least think about starting to incorporate some dried beans into your shopping cart every week. If you do, great. If you don't, whatever, it's cool. I respect your choices. I will see you next week. Peace.